Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. My name is Evil Dragon, yet again. You saw me earlier on Twitch. Here I am on YouTube. Joining me is Jamie, who I gave Driver of the Day earlier on, so we're being friendly with each other now, we're friends. Of course, Evan would be here, but unfortunately Evan, I believe he's had to go to the hospital, so we do wish Evan all the love from everyone here. But I tell you what, Jamie, back in Mexico, again, I wonder if we're going to get some rain this time.
Oh yeah, it's been quite dry. I've noticed it's been quite dry now on the other tiers tonight. So yeah, hopefully we do get a bit of rain, might spice things up. Maybe a bit of a wet qualifying tonight today. I think might be interesting to see how these guys develop in the wet weather. But yeah, it's obviously the beautiful Mexican sunshine has been dominant today. Will we have a change of that tonight? This is Mexico City track. It's got three definitive sectors. You've got the first sector, which is basically straight and chicanes. You've got the second sector, which is all the high-speed sweepers, and the final sector, which is going through the stadium section and the final few corners. So yeah, three distinctive sectors around this track, and yeah, it's quite a popular track, I think, amongst drivers, and penalties, I think, may play a decisive factor tonight.
Yeah, well, as we saw earlier on, I believe in some of the other tiers as well, penalties extremely easy to get, of course. Only three didn't get penalties. One was you. I think it was second in that race in precision, and I think also Jeff didn't get a penalty as well. So penalties extremely high around here. A circuit which we've seen many a driver go off. Of course, expectation is around about 70% for a safety car. In the dry, that is. In the wet, I don't know, might be a bit higher, but a circuit which rounds itself around some of the best parts of the track, of course, as well. First hosted a race all the way back in the 1960s, all the way last till I think it was 1991, went off the calendar until 2015, and then came back again, of course, with a slightly revamped layout, which I'll talk about later on. But this circuit, I'm against popular belief, I like this circuit a lot, to commentate on at least. To drive, not a lot.
Yeah, it's not the easiest to drive on. It's because about the sector, it's so difficult to really get a hang through that. And as I mentioned, I'm looking at previous interviews, quite a few drivers did mention sector 2 as the one they need to look out for. So yeah, it seems a lot better in the game in real life. In real life, sometimes it's quite difficult to overtake, but in the game you can. I mean, with such a long run to turn one, it being on pole position can be a disadvantage, and sometimes see the guys on the third or even the fourth row manage to come through and be in the lead on lap one.
Yeah, and here we can see a lot of drama, of course, a lot of dramatic incidents, of course. 2.674 miles this circuit as well. But whilst we're here, whilst we've got a few moments, we'll go through our sponsors, which I can get up right now in the background. And of course, to our sponsors, all of them, we've got many people we all like to say. And we'll say thank you, of course, to Next Level Racing. They sponsor the league by providing prizes. Of course, the Pure Sim gear as well. They sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing glove to the driver with the most combined poles and fast laps. So go get some, boys and girls out there. See if you can go and get it. Of course, to our partners, Vespertine. Of course, partner with Vespertine, who support our championship prizes. Of course, ERT also partner the ERT, the Go and Get Tough Award by, of course, giving league trophies as well. And of course the Sim Grid, of course, who powers our season as well. And I tell you what, lovely to see them as well. It's got a lovely little thing. It's the first time I've seen it, by the way. It was earlier on, and I must say it looks beautiful. It's all nice and shiny. I like nice and shiny things. So thank you to everyone right there. In terms, of course, of our championship, I'm going to let you do that.
Yeah, obviously we had NSX Montana, who last week he took pole and he got the win and the fast lap point. So he's in the lead on 21 points. You've got Shazoo Tom, his teammate, who finished second on 17 points. The Williams guys who really were in command last week. In third place, got ERT Samba, who was our driver of the day. He got 14 points. In fourth place, got TXM in 12. Him and Samba had a really good battle for third place. In fifth, we got J. Cole on 10. Sixth, we got Khalifa on 8. 9, we got 7th, we got Legend on 6. 8th, we got Mata on 5. 9th, we got Lakitu on 4. In 10th place, we got Konzo on 3 points. 11th place, we got Mane on 2 points. And in 12th, we got Henry on 1 point. Also, Chalkers gets a point for having a fast lap outside the top 10, and Fetbass, Radidal, Owen, Corsa, Larkin, and ERT Nick have all yet to get off the mark.
Yeah, indeed, it's a difficult sometimes to get off the mark. Of course, last week at Suzuka, you can't say this is probably one of the most difficult seasons to start with, unless it was Singapore round 2, and then probably Jeddah is round 3. But Suzuka straight to Mexico, that's a tough thing if you're struggling with grip, struggling with rear end. It's going to be a long afternoon for some of these drivers. We are getting a few people in right now. I believe we're up to we've got a few in. We've got 11 plus us two, so I think a few still to join. But, like I say, could be quite fun this afternoon, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be. And yeah, you mentioned, obviously, them two races, they've both got really demanding SS sections, and it can really kill your tyres. So you've got to make sure you've got a good setup, which gives you nice, good speed through the S's, but also keeps your tyres quite well. I noticed in my race that a few guys were struggling on the tyres, and I managed to hang on a bit longer. But yeah, so your tyre wear's going to be crucial. But obviously, if there's safety cars, which a lot of these guys are particularly post-interview, I'm seeing a lot of guys putting 2 or even 3 safety cars, then that means the pit stops, the mandatory 2 stop will be done under the safety cars. But I hope there is, I'd like to see a safety car, but hopefully not too many, because you want to actually use in racing. But if it does get a bit spread out, a safety car can be quite nice to bring them all back together again.
Yeah, well, we've got 11 people here today, so let's hope there isn't any safety cars for the sake of everyone here.
Maybe someone's spun. Maybe someone's spun and continued. Maybe that's. But no DNF safety car.
Yeah, don't DNF, please. We don't want any DNFs. We don't like our DNFs, of course. Unless, of course, it's a very spectacular DNF, in which case maybe that'll be fun. But let's not get over that one, eh? But nonetheless.
Everybody if we finish everybody scored points, so it shouldn't have any DNFs because you need points anyway. But yeah, as the qualification it's about to get underway. Sorry for interrupting you there, but I thought I'd just get that in.
Yeah, well, nice and sunny. Let's see. We've got the Taz, and let's see what's the weather going to be doing today. Well, we've got cloudy. Let's scroll down to the bottom. In the race, we have got 23% chance of rain at the end of the race, so likely not going to be any rain. In terms of qualifying, it's going to be nice and dry as well. So we have got all 11 drivers. All of them have got their Taz all nice and sorted, which is good to see. But the question is, who's going to come out first, you reckon?
Well, I think Legend might come out first. He's selecting the medium tyre, so he's going for. He might be ready to go, but yeah, he's got a bit of a hold at the moment. The drivers aren't too keen to get out. Normally have cars out by now. No, it's actually the Alpine of. I believe that's J. Cole who's leaving the pit lane. Yeah, the Alpine has got out first in the soft tyres. Obviously got a 5th place last week, so nice solid start from some good points, and maybe with a slightly lower turnout this week, maybe fancying targeting a podium in his second ever one hub race.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing, of course.
On Inters, that's a mistake surely. Selected Inters.
Maybe he just wants to go on the intermediate tyres, you never know, but J. Cole comes out first, just ahead of Legend. So you were almost right, you were so close. So close, you were, what was it, 3 seconds off? I think that's about a 3-second gap.
Not a bad guess. No.
Here we are then. First car on circuit. I will take you around this lap of the circuit, which is pretty much known for all of us. It is the Hermanos Rodriguez, of course, named after I think it was a Formula 1 driver back in the early 60s, I think it was, Rodriguez. And very famous. He drove for Ferrari, of course, died unfortunately, but a common trend of tracks. They always seem to do that. Gilles Villeneuve, of course. Gilles Villeneuve has one other circuit, which is technically on the same continent nearly, of course, but a different entire kettle of fish. But let's get ready then for a nice whole lap with the first car on circuit. That is J. Cole as well. So as you come through the Pinnacle, then the last corner, and then build the revs up to the line, and let's see then a lap around Mexico City. Build up to 180, 190, almost going to be hitting around about 200 miles an hour. As you come down towards turn, what a long race. You come down the Racca to Principal, then down into the Jesus Mosso Sala, which I can never pronounce correctly because it is a different language and I don't know how to do it. I think it's Moses Solana, actually. I think it's the correct term now, but someone can tell me somehow. As you come down the Rector Tancia, then, of course, the long straight, the second of 3 DRS zones around this track as you come into the S. Del Lago then. And this is one of the most beautiful sections with ground stands absolutely everywhere. As you come down into Horquilla then, The right-hander, third gear, 70 miles an hour as you come now into what is the most tricky corner on this circle, the tricky complex. That is the S section, of course, which is slightly wrong on this game by logic. This corner here, the left-hander, a little bit more tighter. It should be down a gear. But, of course, in the game flat out, which is why it's so difficult. For the S's, you can now come into the Rector de Oval. This is where the old oval used to go straight right there. As you come into the Fora del Sol. And this, the stadium section. The atmosphere around here, as per usual in Mexico, absolutely stunning. As you come back through the Penadolta, the last corner, and let's see what it's going to be. Well, it's going to be P1, obviously, but let's see what the time is. It is a 1:15. Let's see what Legend can do. As, well, he crosses the line with a 1:15.3, but I think it was invalidated.
Yeah, and the mean time as well. So he's showing good pace speed. Yeah, invalidations, they're going to be quite easy to invalidate. Some replacement just been that little bit too wide or take that little bit too much curb. And yeah, we've got Khalif and Tom actually out on the inters, so they do not seem to be enjoying the grip for obvious reasons. But gloss over that. And is anybody else out on the lap?
We got Mane on a lap so far, and the Haas.
Purple first sector, good first sector. Not too bad middle sector, and he lost a bit of time in the middle sector, I believe. And Rydal, obviously there, Rydal's on the preparation lap there, I think, so he's just trying to gather himself together and go for another lap. There's Fet Bass, he's also invalidated a lap, so a lot of these guys are invalidating their laps. Legend is also invalidated, so we've only got one soft lap on the board so far. We're almost 5 minutes into qualifying.
Yeah, and Khalifa doing the old strategy there on the intermediate tyres. Let's see what he can do. That'll be interesting if he can do it. Is he actually on a lap? He is on a lap. This ride on board with ERT Khalifa. This is a bold strategy here, Jamie. Let's see if this pays off. I've got a feeling. I don't think he's going to be setting purple sector times.
No, look
but
at mocking up.
You never know.
No. First sector time, let's see his first sector time. Let's see, he's done a 30 seconds, so it's about 2 seconds off the fastest. But this S section, I think this is where he's going to really show. Them inter tyres they'll just overheat massively. Just got to be really careful, don't spin it here. I think he's doing this maybe try and avoid wasting a set of tyres, because you only get a certain amount of set of tyres for the race. So maybe he's doing this, but I won't be out there on track risking a crash. I'd just stay in the pits personally, but it's his own choice, I guess. The Haas gets nice out of the way into the stadium section. Obviously, this is where the amphitheatre of the track is, the real the atmosphere, the semblance of it. And yeah, he's going to finish a lap. It might be in the 1:30s, I think. Let's see. Well, the Pelotada, the shortened Pelotada across the line now. The guy lost to him already there. Across the line, it's a 1:26.3. So
not bad.
No, not bad. Only
10 seconds
off on inners. Not too decent. As Tom's also on lap. Now, can Tom beat his ERT Khalifa? Yes, he can. At 24.5. Well, he's showing the pace on them inters, isn't he?
These intermediate runners. This is the new tyre strat, by the way. The intermediates to mediums to softs. Yeah. That's the strategy these guys are running. It'd be awkward if they don't actually manage to set another lap time, because that might be a bit buggered. For them, because they will start on the
inters. Just to start them tyres. Imagine scenes if the game glitches to start them.
Oh god! Oh, can you imagine the situation? Here comes Konzo through the last corner. Let's see what he can do. Not a lap time. He's backed off. Cross the line. Didn't want to do a lap time there. 1:18.1. Maybe he wants to just try and not beat it and then go for another set of tyres. That's actually a good strategy. You might be going for a set of mediums. I know. Let's see, who is next to do a lap time? We've got Mata on an out lap, Legend also on an out lap, but it will be Mata, who gets what? On the intermediate tyres. Well, boys, it's the intermediate tyre race right now. It's like they just want to have a bit of fun out here. It's an interesting strategy. I've never seen this in all my years of commentary. Tries on intermediates. This is odd, but I mean, to be fair, lap times aren't too bad. I mean, they're only 10 seconds off the pace. I mean, it's probably better than what I can do.
Well, I'd be in the wall straight away in these tyres in these conditions, so yeah, they're definitely better than I can. But yeah, I wonder if these guys do this to maybe start racing fresh tyres. I don't know. It seems.
I mean, that is.
I've never seen this before. I don't know. Maybe it happens a lot in. But yeah, it just seems a bit bizarre. As J. Cole, fair play to him, he's the only guy who can set a proper lap yet, so J. Cole might get pole.
Oh, Tom, don't hit the wall. That's close. That is the wall. And oh dear, Thomas. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm surprised you've spun it there on the intermediate tyres, but, I mean, it's a bold strategy. He's staying out on the intermediate. Maybe he just wants to start on the inters, you know. I mean, he was actually up on his sector time. He did set a green and then spun at the last corner. But, I mean, let's see what Matic can do. He's on the intermediate tyres. He's got a 1 minute 2.9 through the middle sector. Comes through into the stadium section. The rear end just about gripping on the intermediate tyres. Through he comes into the last corner. And here comes Matt, nicely cruising it through. Is he going to come into the pit lane? No, he's going to finish lap time on the intermediate. It looks really smooth, I must say. Can he put it on? Oh, he doesn't beat Tom. Tom's still ahead of him there. Only by 8/10 of a second there from his rival Tom. Let's see who else is on the lap time. Can we get some dry running? There we go. Legend. He's on the dries, but he's invalidated. So, does anyone want to say a lap time?
Montana's come out and out. We've got a few guys in out laps. We've got Fett, Bass, Lakitu, and Montana on out laps. And Rydell was also on an out lap. Lakitu, yeah, Lakitu was about to start a lap, so we might get a pop lap here from Lakitu, who he was asked. Lakitu, who was asked in the press conference about him being a former champion and how he feels. Obviously, at the best time since then, he was mentioning that he's finding it difficult to learn the no line, and obviously he raced in the Precision tier last season. He's back in the Pinnacle tier, so he's starting to find a bit more speed, but he's not quite there with the race line off. So yeah, Lakitu's trying to build some confidence, and he may have a good grid slot. If he just gets a lap in, he'll probably be on pole. As J. Cole's coming out in the meters, but he's only set a lap on the soft. So Lakitu may be on for a pole position lap here, but it doesn't look the quickest. I think these guys are definitely saving something. They're not going full chat. It's a bit frustrating, I have to say. A bit frustrating this qualifying session.
Lakitu's invalid, so he's not going to get a lap in yet again. These guys all having struggles. Fett Baslow, he's on a lap time. Let's see what he can do. In the middle sector, chucks it in, he goes too wide. That's going to invalidate, surely. No, it doesn't. I don't know how. Purple sector too low, so let's see if that's purple on the Taz. Let's have a little look on there, and it looks like Montana purple. It's only, it's not lighting up any timing screens on my end, is Fett Bass. It is actually a purple sector too. Now it's popped up through the last corner, through the final, crosses the line. Can he get on pole? Yes, he can. 1 minute 14.8. We've got Montana on a lap time.
This lap. Montana may get into the low fours, maybe in the 13s if he gets a good final sector, as Rydell's on the fast laps. So we are getting some fast laps at last. As Nick says, drivers were given permission to qualify in this, so this is a legit strategy. As Montana, 13.6. What a lap that is by the Williams man. And he had pole last week. He's looking to have back-to-back poles as legend as Rydell. Let's see what he can do. He's purple sector 2, so coming to sector 3 now. What can he do? He won the pre-season race, wasn't around last week. He's about 4 attempts down in middle sector, so Montana really did nail that middle sector. He really had a nice run through the S's.
And so cruising through the S's, you come through the final turn into what is the most beautiful corner, of course. That is the pedal Tarda led. Across the line, only P6 for, well, only P2. I said P6 for a second, but no, P2 for him. A 1 minute 14.4, but is anyone going to beat that 1 minute 13.6? That's the question. Lakitu crosses the line. Let's see what he can do. Only good enough for 10th. I think he had another invalid lap time right there.
Yeah. Maybe 14.4 if it counted. So yeah, he's still, Montana's just dominating so far. His teammate Tom hasn't set a lap yet on the dry tyres, and presumably he's going to start on this. He's going to not set a lap. He's going to start on fresh tyres. So we have an interesting strategy for starting the race at least. We have guys at the back on fresh tyres, and these guys at the front who are on used softs. Obviously next year that rule is gone, but we're still in 2021 in this game, so we still have that rule.
Yep, Legend through turn 1 and 2. Then on that set of red-walled soft tyres, let's see what he can do. The Ferrari driver, as well as Lakitu, hasn't set a lap time. First sector then, a 28.1. That looked pretty okay there on my end. Let's see, comes through into the top end of the circuit. As now you go, look at all the grandstands there. You could say wave to them, say hello to all the grandstands there. As you come through here, chucks it into the S section where we've seen many once a Ferrari go off there. Sebastian Vettel went off there in 2015, I remember a long time ago. It's such an easy corner to do. Through here, look, looks like he's nice and smooth. There he comes on the exit. The number 50, lights ablaze then. Purple sector 2 comes into the stadium section and now chucks it in down into second gear then. First gear has to just get the rotation in ever so slightly on the slowest part of this circuit. Through the last corner, second, third, up to fourth, into fifth, up to sixth, to the line, and it's P2. That 114.2, still, what, some 6/10 office, isn't it, of a Montana?
Yeah, Montana was 3 temps quicker than the final sector, so he's really... Montana has a nice run through the final 3 corners. Yeah, these guys are a long way off. Montana is... He's quite fast, and obviously the Drivers' Champion has the prospect of going into the next level racing academy system if they meet the criteria. So I think Montana may be fancying that as maybe a possible prize for the championship. But it's only round 2, too early to call. But yeah, he's definitely on form. As I believe Matt's on another lap on the Inters. He's actually improving, but he's invalidated. So
just as you said that he invalidated, just on cue.
He went a bit wide. He went a bit wide in the S section.
He just didn't want to have the start time right there. Is the answer to that one. Legends coming in the pit lane. J. Cole is in the pits on that set of intermediate tyres. Takes down the bollard right there. That'll be oh, there's the bollard. Hello, bollard. Where are you going? Oh, he's going quickly. Oh, he's disappeared. Well, goodbye, bollard.
Yeah,
it was going quicker than the car.
Yeah, that in fact after me, it got stuck under the wing. Yeah, it just magically flies off as soon as you get pulled in. It's quite magical, actually.
Yeah, magical. Legends coming in the pit there. And of course, 3 minutes to go in qualifying. So let's see who's going to be coming out first. It is going to be the Ferrari of Fetbass. He comes out onto the circuit with our 11 runners here today, and he is on a lovely set of nice red tyres, which is good. We like nice red tyres. Behind them we've got, I believe, is that Tom out on the pits? We've got Tom and then Khalifa on another set of intermediates, mind.
Good job it's not raining in the race because they're using up all their inters.
No, it would be terrible if they use all their inters up.
Yeah, imagine if it's magically rained at the end of the race and everybody's used up all the inters. They'll have to maybe finish race on slicks.
Yeah, that's the strategy. You've got now everyone, if it rains, you've got to do a race on the slick tyres. That's going to be the new strat here. There we go. We're gonna have to make that a rule. We're gonna have to get we might have to get that a rule made now. For everyone who's driven on the intermediates, they have to do a race if it's in the wet on the slicks. I think that's a fair assessment in qualifying.
Yeah, fair deal. I think who's the first guy going to start a lap? I believe it's going to be the Ferrari.
Yeah, Pet Bass or Fet Bass. I think is it Fet Bass or Pet Bass?
Fet Bass. Yeah, he's in 4th place, so not too bad a starting position so far. See if he improves by improves by half a second, which is quite a big ask. He'll be in the front row. So we'll see what he can do. As obviously he's his first season won a racing, and he'll be looking maybe get some points on the board.
Well, let's get ready to rumble then here in Mexico City. And it is the first lap, of course, and the final laps really in this session. First up, Fet Bass. Turn number 1, that's going to be the key braking zone. 200 and just over 200 miles an hour. I think this was 200 miles an hour. Chucks it in, nice and grippy through there. Turn 1, 2 hops over the curb into 3. Nicely does through there. You can run a little bit wide there and get away with it. But, of course, you don't want to do that too often as you come down towards turn 4, 5 and 6. Late braking zone, spot the 100 metre board, spot the outside there as well. The axle of a circuit goes, of course. Then you take the turn in here in this corner. Always so easy to do that. Snap to brake, the rear end wants to step out. 3rd gear through here. Now, the tricky section. Into the S's. Let's see, Ferrari takes it nice through there. Right, left. Then, again, guess what? It's a right. And then the final left. And then a little bit of a breather. Just a few seconds. Spot your braking zone, then down towards the stadium. Chucks it into the right, little bit deep that time, low, but I think he got away with it. Chucks it into the last corner, might not be good enough for pole now, but let's see what he can do then. Through the right, through the last corner, up to the line. Let's see what he can do. He has to beat a 1 minute 13.6 across the line. 1 minute 14.6 did improve, but not by enough there. Probably cost him about 2-3 more attempts. Next up, I believe, is going to be Tom.
Yeah.
But he's invalidated.
He invalidated his first lap and he's come in the pit, so that's his qualifying done. He invalidated his lap, so yeah, that's his qualifying done. He'll be starting in 8th place, but he's starting on fresh tyres as he's retired to come in the pits, which is the correct thing to do. As I believe Ryderdale's put in a good first set. He's come through the S's now. Has he? He's doing a nice run for here. It's just about using enough curb to get validated. He runs wide here. He's gone DRS approaching. He's backed out. So yeah, these guys are playing poker here in qualifying.
This is the ultimate game of poker. I've never played poker, so I couldn't say if I liked it. But let's see. We got Matter on a lap now, so he's going to set a lap time. Well, he can only go quicker than he did on the intermediate tyres, to be fair. So, let's see what he can do. I think that might be one of the last guys to set a lap time. We've got Mane on the lap, but he's behind. We've got Jaco, who's just crossed the line right now. I don't know if he's starting a lap right now. Fedbass is doing some grass cutting. Rydell Legend on a lap time, but he's invalidated. Montana's in the pit lane. So, yeah, I think Mata is the next car to cross the line on a valid lap as you come down into the stadium. And all the grandstands, everyone cheering for Mata here in Mexico City. Does he get a lap time that can put him up at least around 6th position, is what I imagine he's aiming for. But he doesn't. No one wants to have fun. They don't want to set lap times.
No, they're doing laps and coming in the pits. So Mane, I believe, is on the lap. He's going to finish it. He moves to 5th place. He's bumped J. Cole. Now can J. Cole respond as Rydell set a personal best first sector. As J. Cole's binned it. Wow, he lost it on the curve and in the wall. And yeah, wow, J. Cole is out of qualifying. As the Rydell managed to avoid that, I think, because thankfully the coach system was in place. So Rydell still, he can improve. Rydell maybe can get on the front row, so he keeps him to 2nd place. He goes back there for the Alpha Man. What can his teammate do? Can his teammate pip him onto the front row? He's going to find a corner a little bit Larry. That might have cost him. Yes, it did. He lost a bit of time, but it was invalidated anyway. So, yeah, it was Konzo was going to cross the line. What can he do? Can he improve on his time? Yes, he does, but he stays in 8th place. But he was sat in the mediums, and Khalifa on them inters comes in the pits, and Khalifa is last on the grid in 11th place.
Well, Montana then on pole position. Khalifa retires in the box. The Mercedes mechanics look at him, wondering, confused looks there why they decided to become a Ferrari strategist. But they put him away into the pit lane. But like you said, it is pole position for the man, which is Montana then, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. What country is that? Is that
Switzerland.
Switzerland. There we go. It's the Swiss then from the German, and then comes the Dutch, and then, of course, it's the Swedish lineup of 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then comes the Englishman ahead of the Scotsman, and then comes, well, I've no idea.
It's Cameroon, I think.
Is it Cameroon? It might be Cameroon. I'm not very good at my flags. Then comes Britain, and then comes Bahrain. I'm pretty certain that's Bahrain. I hope. I think it is.
Bahrain.
There we go.
Good at geography.
Countries with evil
skill.
Yeah. I failed my geography. Is the actual fact there? I actually never did geography. Actually, I never got chose for that. I got put into religious studies, but I decided I didn't want to do that because it confused me, and that was the end of that story. But with nice sunny conditions here in Mexico, with the lovely flags of the European Union, Finland, Europe, we've got some Poland, then we've got some Mexican flags. There's an Australian flag down the bottom alongside a Polish flag. And I think there's a Bahrain flag in the distance as well. So lots of nationalities all cheering on all their lovely drivers. And I tell you what, this is going to be hopefully a cracking race here in Mexico.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Hopefully we don't have too many casualties. But yeah, the qualifying, it don't really give us a clear picture of who's got pace. Got a few fast guys behind, so we may see some action as Montana, on pole, just a dominant pole position by half a second. A good effort from him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this race. Hopefully we should have a good one. Tom, obviously, he invalidated his lap. He was the fastest of the inter runners, so he got pole in the other qualifying session. But yeah, anyway, so waiting for the host to ready up, and then we'll be getting away for the formation lap. As I see, I see a couple of Brazilian flags down there as well, I believe. So yeah, a lot of nationalities represented in the paddock.
Yeah, everyone's lovely. I mean, they're all standing, clapping, look, cheering on. They're all excited to go here today. And who can blame them? This is going to be a cracking race. I'm curious if the game's going to force some of these drivers on the inters. I don't think it will, but I don't know if it won't.
We'll find out soon enough.
3, 2, 1. Are they on the inters? Will they get to change? I think, are they all on dries? It looks like dry tyres.
Looks like slicks, yeah.
I think everyone's on the slicks. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was hoping they would put them on the inters. That would have been entertaining. Nonetheless, Montana from the Q2. Then comes Legend as they run away through their formation. That Rydell, Fetbass, Mane, then comes J. Cole, Konzo, Tom, Mata and Khalifa on this 11-car grid. And what will we say is I hope certainly we get an entertaining race, hopefully though, in an entertaining race where we don't see a lot of cars out, because we've only got 11 of the buggers. We don't want 10 or 9 of them, and hopefully we don't get any less of that. Though knowing my luck, we're going to have like 2 runners at the end of this race now, aren't we?
Yeah, you'd think though, with such a small grid that drivers would be maybe on the first lap, maybe a bit more. Obviously you want to be aggressive on the first lap, but maybe there's a long race, there's time to recover, so I hopefully won't see any Ricciardo style dive bombs into turn 1. So yeah, just hopefully keep nice and clean. Obviously we had a clean race in the prospect here, so if we can keep it clean, sure these Pinnacle guys can. It's quite a quick formation, I have to say. Obviously Montana's really, he wants to get this race underway, doesn't he? He's went the farm sector already, so Montana is no chill in this formation lap.
Yeah, no chill. He just wants to go. Now, if I was the last man on this grid, Khalifa, you know what you could do? I mean, I don't know how frowned upon it here is in Run Hub, but you could slow all the way down just to make life horrible for the man on pole, which I've seen before from some people, and I absolutely, it's interesting tactics. I don't like it too much, but you can do it.
We had that in Singapore in one tier, and we had to put a rule in place because you have a rule for it. But no, if you have to keep within 10 car lengths, like in real F1, so we clamped down on that. So we won't see that antics. So if we will, the driver will be getting penalised as the grid is lining up already. So we're about to get underway.
Yeah, Montana on that pole position, Lakitu in P2 alongside, and then the last car, Khalifa on the grid. There it is, confirmation then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red lights go here in Mexico. Looks like Montana gets a very good start. Yet again, looks like Legend and Rydell behind, getting a good start. I think it's Legend with a better start in the background as you come down then in towards turn number 1. But it is the Williams leads there. They're almost free abreast in the background. But it's Legend in second. Rydell contact with his teammate there. Now the other Ferrari getting involved that as well. A feed pass then. Trying to go around the outside. The Ferrari-powered cars getting awfully close at the start of this race. They run themselves down towards turn number 3. Careful, boys, you don't touch. It's a very easy corner to get looped round, and they just about hold it on. This is so awfully close then. Into turn 5, into turn 6. You're going to get shuffled out right. Indeed you are. But he's still there. Go on, my sunshine. Up the inside. Will he do it? He's forced him wide. Now this is going to be closer. I think he'll get him there by figure that Lakitu. He's not going to try and hold it back down the outside there. What a good little move from Vetbas there.
Yeah, side by side. Lakitu went off track. I think Lakitu had to let the place through because he'd gain advantage. Look at Mane. These 3 Ferrari-powered teams are really having a nice battles. Montana, they've got to start by him. He just nailed it, and he's pulled away already. But look, it's battle for 4th place. It's a bit of like an old-style trolley train here. These guys all hold each other up, and the front 3 starting to pull away. Now, Will Mane, can he get a good run up far in the corner? He's got the slipstream. Obviously, no gears in play yet. He's not using. He's saving his battery though, so he's using it now. He's going to go for it. He's going to go down the inside of turn 1. Will Vetbas be? Who's got to be last late breakers? Mane. He's going out of position. John, can Vetbas fight back around the outside? He thinks about it, but has to back out of it. Mane is through, and he gets a nice run through the chicanes. Lakitu may fancy a repass on the Ferrari. We may get it in reverse from lap 1.
Look at Tom though sitting back there just looking there. The cameraman doesn't want to work with me too much. Led to the outside cam. And there you can see Vetbas with the Alfa Romeo just on his outside. But look, they're up the inside, the Williams. That's brave. That's it. That's going to be audacious. Let's see outside, inside. I think the inside line will hold it. Better tyres, of course. Indeed, he will. Lakitu holds on to P6 so far. Vetbas, though, just up the road. Just holding on to that position. No one out of this race, crucially, though. Khalifa 3-second time penalty just on cue, though.
Yeah. Especially Pinnacle backing up quite fast. As his front 3 are starting to pull away. Mane's actually got a nice gap. So DRS will be in play in this lap. So we might see a bit more fighting as, Lakitu's had quite a poor first few laps. Starting in the front row, he's shuffled all the way down to 6th place. Lakitu's not having a nice opening stint to the race so far as Lakitu, he's going to have a run on Vetbas. Vetbas does not appear to have that good a straight line speed. He's quite quick in the corners, but his straight line speed isn't that good.
More downforce, you reckon? Let's see, up the inside. No, he's going to sit back. He's just going to wait, and that's That's fair enough. But tell you what, fair pass there. That missed the braking zone by a big meter there. Lakitu with a time penalty for slowly going over the curb there. Wants to be careful, it doesn't damage the underfloor. It's quite easy around those curbs if you go over them. Let's see, outside versus inside. It's now role reversal this time. And finally, he gets that move done after 3 laps. Lovely little battling between those two. Fair pass low. He will get the DRS this lap still, though, if he keeps with him.
Yeah, you'll get it down, obviously, on the X's. That's the first DRS on being players. And Legend's actually killed the back of Montana. So Legend, he's starting to pull the pace back again. As you see what Fet Bass is doing. Fet Bass seems... he's got a decent-ish run for here, but Nikita's actually managed to pull a nice little gap as a J. Cole and Tom. Yeah, these guys are all on the DRS train, so it may get a little bit congested as a... Nikita's trying to maybe try and catch back a Mane again, but Fet Bass is still in that range. He's in that range where, as he loses the back end there, that might cost him. And Tom may fancy blood here. He's on the medium tyres, so the softs will be starting to go off now. These medium tyres will be the tyres to be on as Fet Bass will have DRS to defend. But what will Tom do? Now, can Tom get a slipstream as Legends closing the back of Montana? We'll see what's happening at the front here. I think Montana may have it covered. Yeah, everybody's got it covered. So we've got Matt and Khalifa at the back of the pack. Matt's going to go round outside of Khalifa. Nice move there from McLaren, man. He's up in the top 10.
Yeah, double dose of DRS. So let's see if anyone can try and fight back. No, can't quite do it there. As I look up through the order, the key to in 5th, but leading this race, Montana and Legend, well, they are in a class of their absolute own. So far, they're just pulling away, not fighting each other too heavily, and why should they at the start of this race? The race isn't won on that 1, 2, 3 or 4, it is won on lap 36, and to get to lap 36, you have to finish all 36 of the laps. Yeah. And so far, 11 of the drivers have completed 4 of them. Hopefully, they'll complete all 36, but knowing me right now, any second now, a car's going in the wall. We've seen some people dropping it here on the exit of this curb. I saw it in the first here in Precision, and it's a very odd place to spin it, but it is possible.
Yeah, the race leading the podium too actually did drop it there on the safety car restarters. Yeah, as I say, these front two, they should just work together, I think, try and pull away, and then maybe towards the end of the race start fighting. It's got a nice gap of ride up. Yeah, I believe Legend, he's not going for an overtake. Staying in the DRS of Montana and starting to pull a nice gap to Ryder, who is a little bit exposed. We've got Tom and Fet Bass, but Fet Bass... Yeah, Tom got the move done. Fet Bass is soft, so starting to go off, but Fet Bass gets a good exit. Tom was a bit leery on the curb there. They both have DRS. Is Fet Bass going to use his battery? He's going to go around the outside. Tom gives him just enough room, I think. And yeah, Tom's got it covered. There's locks up there, but he's got the move done as Lakitu has caught the back of Mane again. So Lakitu's he's had them tough first few laps, but he's starting to get back into a rhythm, I think.
Yeah, he definitely is getting back into that rhythm in terms of the tyres, by the way. If you didn't know who's on what, of course, we've got 4 on a set of mediums. That is Tom, Konzo, Mata, and Khalifa. Everyone else on a set of softs. Now, these soft tyres, from what I saw from Infamous earlier on, they can do 12 laps. If you've got a very audacious tyre strategy, and I don't know what he did to those tyres, but they lasted forever. They just didn't want to go off. They were doing better than the mediums at some stages in the race, so they can go on for between lap 8 and 12. We'll just say that much. Depending on your strategy. Here comes Lakitu, though, on Mane. And this should be a pretty simple move. Then up the inside, Mane's not going to fight that one too heavily. Lakitu giving him a lot of berth right there, just to make sure nothing happens. Of course, you don't want to have contact down the straight. And
Lakitu was off. Lakitu's on the moment, he's off. He had a bit of a swap on there, and he's had to go over the grass like Lewis Hamilton did. And yeah, Lakitu was the moment there. I don't know what happened there. The car just stacked on him, and he had a bit of a wheel issue there, but that's a bit weird. He's gone off and he's kept the position, but he's got himself a 5-second penalty, which I believe he'll have to serve in his next pit stop. That was strange.
Yeah, well, I said I wanted to give a wide berth. I didn't mean that much of a wide berth, my friend. But, I mean, it worked, I guess. I mean, you've got a 5-second time penalty, but, I mean, it could be worse. He is carrying on his merry way. There is Tom in 6th position, followed by this train of cars of Fet Bass and XL J. Cole as well. J. Cole getting a little bit of a better exit than Fet Bass, who, like I said, seems to be struggling. Khalifa also seems to be struggling around here, getting another time penalty as well as we look at this battle here for these positions.
Oh, I thought it was going to take me inside there. I was thinking about it.
Brave. That's a very brave opportunity to go up the inside into that type of corner. And normally, I mean, you could see it work occasionally. In comes Rydell then. So he's decided to come in the pit lane. Here comes Jacob. He's trying to close up to Fairbass, who's trying to close up to Tom. I think Tom might be in a bit of trouble here into turn number 1, you know. There goes one.
He's exposed,
and are we going to see another one dive up the inside? Looking back lane from there. A little bit of a lock-up for Tom. J. Colo, he should with a bite of cherries get the DRS. He will definitely get a bite of the cherries there. Big tank slapper for Tom. Here comes J. Cole inside line. And I think this would be like tanking candy from a baby. Then up the inside goes the Alpine. Nicely done. The Williams tries to get a good exit. Slightly covering off just J. Cole. Nicely done right there from that driver. Bet that's a little bit wide on the exit. But the drivers keeping it together. Behind them as well with Mata, Konzo and Khalifa in that battle of the mediums. They're all still together. So everyone's staying in kind of three little packs right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got Rydell who's pitted, so he's going to try and go for an aggressive strategy undercut, which as J. Cole, I thought he was going to send him inside Fetbass there. Fetbass seems to be struggling, but Fetbass seems to be quite comfortable in the racing. He seems to defend quite well, but I think he's going to be under pressure here from both these guys because he's going to probably get a Perex out of here. He's going to pit, yes, he pits. There's Thomas, a big tank slapper coming out behind the corner. Managed to hold it though, and you know, J. Cole will get DRS, which I think will help him. He's got Legend and Montana very close, so these guys they're still not fighting. I don't think they're still trying to work together. As Rydell, this undercut, he may be in a position where he may be quite close to these guys when they pit, which would be in the next 2 or 3 laps.
Yeah, it's the pit delta. I think is around about. I think it's about 22 seconds. So I mean, he's 24 seconds off. Is Konzo getting passed by Khalifa right there for 8th and 9th position? But yeah, 22 seconds. He's 24 seconds. So he should come out ahead of Lakitu if my maths is correct, which it normally isn't. But let's see. Mane in 4th. J. Cole in 5th. And then the Williams of Tom in 6th position as well. And so everyone's keeping it nice and smooth. It's quite fun to see everyone driving their heart's content out. Manny with a time penalty. Khalifa he's got 6 seconds, 8 seconds for Lakitu. The others are Mane and Rydell, both with 3. So already, like I said earlier, it's quite easy to pick up penalties here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just, it's just so many. It's just, if you just hit that curb a little bit too much, or you run a little bit too deep, it's very easy. If Mane's in the pits and these front guys are going a bit longer, Legend still. Lakitu, once he's got by them guys, he's sort of matching the pace of the leaders, but he's a bit too far back, and that penalty is going to come into play as Rydell. No surprise there, sets fast after the race. He's still got some nice clear air, and yeah, look at the gap. 23 seconds, another couple. It's going to be tight, you know. It's going to be tight. When he does pit, there's a Tom in his mean tyres. He doesn't seem that. He seems quite quick, but every time I go board with him, I seem to curse him. He seems to make some sort of error or have some sort of moment. So I think his car's very much on edge. Lakitu gets another penalty, so he's not enjoying them track limits tonight.
Yeah, because like you said, it looks like Tom just potentially has a bit less downforce on the rear. Maybe the anti-roll bars potentially slightly different. Of course, I don't know what the setups they're using, but I know
Khalifa,
for certain. Khalifa, another penalty. He's he's on his way for penalties. I know I saw someone with 15, 18 second penalty earlier on today. So penalties. Yeah, I think it was Kingan who got a lot of penalties.
Lakitu was in and J. Cole in.
Yeah,
so
this is a no-brainer.
Yep.
Let's see, where is Rydell through the last corner? Rydell's going to jump all of these guys, I reckon.
Big gap.
Yeah, he's got a
gap. It's a huge undercut here for the alpha male man. They've not even got the garage yet. Like, the Lakitu's still getting tyre change, and Rydell's halfway down the pit straight, so massive undercut there.
I tell you what, he's going to be interesting to see as they come out the pit lane. Where is he going to come between Montana Legend as well? These two really closing back up on each other. Gap 4 attempts there as Khalifa and Mata switch positions there. That's 4th and 5th position back again. Konzo in 6th. Rydell, like we said, in that 7th. But he's a little bit of a dark horse right now. His lap time this time 2 attempts down in sector 1. The gap low 21.9. And if my maths, which seems to be pretty accurate, what I said was the gap. I think it's going to come out in the lead, you know. But of course, he'll be on worn tyres. But let's see, Montana and Legend, I think, are coming in soon.
Yeah. Obviously, he's on a different strategy. He's on the soft tyres, so he's still got the mediums to run. So yeah, he's on a different strategy. But this will give him track position, and he'll probably be leading at the end of the final stint. So this could be an interesting step back as the penalty. These guys both pitting. Who have the fastest pit crew? I believe Williams in the last garage, so he probably had the advantage of just getting sent straight out. As good pit stop by Ferrari. What's Montana? Montana's gone on soft, so we've got a different strategy here now. That is good to see. We're going to have a bit of a divergence here, and if Legend can stay within range of Montana, he may fancy an opportunity. And where's Rydell in all this? Rydell is going to be in between both of them. He's going to have the momentum though on Montana. Montana's got to get them tyres up temperature. Rydell, he's got DRS though. I don't think he has DRS, which may cost him a position, a chance to overtake.
Yeah, I tell you what, look at Legend. He will have the DRS though. He's on the medium tyres. He'll get the DRS because, of course, the DRS detection point after the last corner. Well, just before the last corner, he was nowhere near them. So, all of a sudden, Legend has a real opportunity to come back. Rydell needs to try and use these tyres as quick as he can. But this has worked. An absolute treat then from the Alfa Romeo. He started, by the way, I believe, as I get to see where everyone's starting in this race. He is, where is it? My little thing. There it is.
He started in 4th place.
He started in 4th, in 6th. Right now at net P2 as things currently stand, but Montana now with that old strategy on a different set of tyres. Now this might hurt him later on. That is a real thing. It will hurt him later on, but right now it's going to benefit him because now Legend's got to get past Rydell, and Rydell on those soft tyres, they are going off. That's a guarantee. You can see him struggling here. Actually, I think maybe Rydell might be under a bit of pressure right now. I think Legend's going to get him straight away.
Here quite easily, yeah. So, also, you've got to factor in a possible safety car as well. Safety car comes in between the two pit gaps. That might help Rydell. These guys have to go on mediums on that second stop for a safety car. But yeah, Rydell been overtaken. But it's nice to see him have a go aggressive. It's good to see some guy go aggressive on a strategy, even though it may cost him. But he's still in a good position. He probably fancy getting a podium position, which would be a good result for him after not really having the best of opening stints.
Yeah, Mata in P3, meanwhile, he is driving a superb race as well. Yes, of course, these guys haven't stopped. Yes, I know that. But, I mean, to be fair, Cleef are up 9 positions so far. We'll give him credit. He is up 9 positions. Up at 7 for Mata. Up Konzo as well. But behind them, Montana. Look at him. He's right there. Montana's like he's going up the inside. And that's a brave move, isn't it? He's got it done. That's audacious. Hello, Montana. That's what we like to see up the inside. I thought you could make a move there very easily. Well, I'll be gobsmacked.
Yeah, I think Konzo, to be fair to him, realised. I think he gave him room, which is good to see. And yeah, that's crucial for Montana, because look at the gap he's pulled on Legend by doing that.
He's going to get Mata.
Yeah, he's making good progress with his traffic, and could he get Khalifa as well? He's going to send it behind the Khalifa. He's going to think about it. Oh, that's late on the brakes, but he managed to make the apex. Wow, what a move! That was double overtaking the T1, and look at the gap he's got on Legend. Legend's got to pass all these guys, and yeah, that Montana, that's what wins races though. Clinical overtakes, and that was a clinic of 3 cars in about
30 seconds. That was beautiful. Well, that might be the moment of the day. I was going to say don't do it because I've seen so often people do that. They end up coming too late, steaming in contact, goes around. I think you know what I'm on about there as well. We've seen that a few times before.
Yeah, I've been part of it as well. Yeah, Cleef gets another penalty. But yeah, but fair play also to the drivers who got overtaken. They didn't turn in, which they could have done. They gave him room, and yeah, you've got to say, fair play to Montana. Look at the gap he's pulled already. He's absolutely flying, and he needs a gap because obviously Legend will be on their mediums. I believe Legend's also going to move on Konzo into the same corner.
Yeah,
so
same thing.
Yeah, so these guys. Fair play to Konzo for giving room, but fair play to these guys going for the movers. Cleaver's in the pits. That's quite an early pit stop on the medium tyres as Montana sets a fast lap of 1 minute 16 exactly.
Well, I like the way they do that. But yeah, turning back to Montana, that is clinical. Look at the gap he's got now. It's what? 3 points. It's almost 4 seconds.
3.5 seconds to Legend. Yeah, it's just And obviously Legend's still got to press Matt, and Matt is quite a distance ahead. I don't think Legend will get by in this corner, so he's going to have to stick in the S section behind the Alpha behind the McLaren man, which is going to cost him even more time. So Legend may have to go for a send in the same section this lap.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's optimistic. Meanwhile, Lakitu getting past Jaco. Lakitu a little bit deep. Let's see, is Jaco going to try the old switcheroo up the inside? No, he's going to think better of that one. That corner, I definitely don't think you can make an overtake without something happening. No, really, these drivers being extremely respectful between each other. This is great. Meanwhile, this is Legend. And I'm going to presume here, Matt is going to dive in the pit lane before he gets overtaken. It just seems like these medium tyres are just coming to the stage where I'm presuming he'll dive in.
Good teamwork from Williams there.
Tom's hit the pit wall in the pits.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was just going to mention, good teammate for Williams there, because obviously Montana caught his teammate, and now Montana's got DRS, so there's Legends up to second place. Everybody's pitting on the medium. That's about right. But yeah, I was going to mention, Montana caught back his teammate Tom, and Montana's got DRS down these 2 straight, so it's going to gain a few more attempts. So that's good work by Williams, but maybe not such good work from hitting the pit wall.
Yeah, I don't think it got damage from that, but I definitely saw the polystyrene getting kicked up. Meanwhile, Khalifa battling with Fetbass at the battle for 8th and 9th. And you know earlier on when I said about penalties? Well, so far, well, literally as I say about penalties. Wow, thank you, Jacob, proving my point. I was going to say 3 only had a penalty. Never mind, 2 only haven't got a penalty. That is Tom and Montana. Montana dominating, we'll just say so far. 5.4 seconds. That gap. He's on that set of soft tyres. He's pushing it as hard as he can. He'll be stopping on that 20 to lap 22, at least for a set of medium tyres. These tyres are now, what, some 3-lap hold. So yeah, that 20 to lap 22 will be when he stops. That is normally the delta for these tyres. Mane in 4th, Rydell in 3rd. He's doing a good job as well. He'll be stopping, I think he's going to be trying to stretch these tyres around lap 20 as well. He's got DRS of Legend though as well. Legend, not too far ahead though. I don't know if he's close enough to make a move. He's closing. Might have an opportunity to turn number 4 though.
Yeah, he's got a good run, yeah. Fair play Rydell on these old softies. He might hang back on the DRS of Legend on the mediums. And yeah, with the soft tyres, I think if you take it quite easy, if you don't use all the tyre in the first few laps, they do reward you with a longer stint, and I believe that's what Montana's doing. He's just really coasting in the lead. His Legend knocks up there, but he's got the new position covered. He's got Matter and Fetbass fighting at the back, and Matter gets through, and Matter may fancy a move on Conza. He may fancy 2 overtakes, but Conza's got DRS. And I believe that will maybe keep him safe. What's Conza got DRS from?
Fetbass.
Oh yeah, Fetbass. Yeah, he must have some overtaking there.
Fetbass struggling on those tyres right there. It just looks like he's locking up. I don't know if he's running ABS off, I think.
Yeah, I see tyre smokes. Yeah, I think he maybe is running ABS off as Montana. Just stroke away ahead. He's got Rydell and Legend, probably our closest battle at the moment. We've also got Lakitu and J. Cole and Tom on the means. Fair play to Williams guys. They've got no penalties, so it's like they've really found a way around this track. And now Tom, look, he's pushing J. Cole on his 5-degree corner. Surely he's going to have the opportunity here. Going to get a good exit. They're both on mediums, so there's no tyre advantage here. As J. Cole has not got DRS. Oh yes, he has. It's a late DRS. But look at Tom using his battery to get through. Tom's got a lot of battery left. He's saved a lot, and that's going to make him get the position done up into 6th place. Yeah, J. Cole thinks about going for it, but not again. Man, can Tom get Lakitu? This is crucial for Tom's race. He needs to clear these guys, I think.
Yeah, I think he should get this one. Lakitu's going to go slightly defensive. Oh! That was
wow.
So close. Wow, that was a squeeze from Lakitu. Somehow, I thought that was it then. I thought that was it. It wasn't. That was brave from Tom. Lakitu's lighting the rears up. Just about gets it.
Fair play to Tom there. What a move. That reminded me of Vettel and the Red Bulls there a few years ago.
Yeah, Ricardo, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. But Tom actually got the move done, and now he's going to pull away in these soft tyres. So Tom's going to try and break DRS from Lakitu, and I believe he's not quite done it, but he might do it in the same section. Oh yeah, there's Tom. He's got a 4-second gap to Mane ahead, and at the moment he's just a second outside the penalty window. As we'll keep an eye on see when these Williams guys pit for the mediums. Is Lakitu in DRS?
No.
No. So he should pull away now.
Yeah, I think he just back on those tyres there. I was watching on bottom of Lakitu, rear end snapping like an alligator. Meanwhile, Mata, well, let's see what's he going to be doing. Well, he's going to roll up Konzo into a mat as Mata takes ninth position then from the AlphaTauri, formerly the Toro Rosso, was once a Minardi many, many years ago. Talking of different cars, the Williams, that was always a Williams. The Ferrari was always a Ferrari. The Alfa Romeo is a funny one because the Alfa Romeo used to be, I believe that was Sauber. But the interesting thing with that is if we have a Alpine, which you do, that used to be an Alfa Romeo. It's just a weird reality when you think of it, isn't it? Because, talking of it, he's actually battling with an Alfa Romeo. So technically, two Alfa Romeos battling each other in different universes.
It's like the Mercedes used to be a Honda, which is just weird when you think about it. It happened last year, they were fighting with a Honda, but it was, I believe, our close battle is Jayco, Nakitu, and maybe Konzo and Matt as well. But Jayco's got a nice rhythm through the same section now. Can Nakitu get a good exit out the final corner? It looks like he does, I think. As Mane's in the ride bills in the pits.
Yeah, about accurate.
Another set of mediums. So he's going double medium. Yeah.
Lakitu and Jayco. Jayco's closing. Is he close to make a lunge? He's gonna think. No, he's not gonna think of it.
Nah.
He thought of it. He fooled me then. He'll get a run into turn 3 low and let's see, he gets a good exit through here, but Lakitu gets a slightly better exit, and I think optimistic. I'm going to say that one. Very optimistic to do it from there. He knows more than I do to try and make a move from that far back. Like I said, Rydell stopped for his last time. He'll go to the end of this race as well. No incidents to report of so far. Fetbass at the back of this field. He is not, well, let's say he is struggling a little bit. He's on 10 lap old mediums. He's carrying on his way low. No one budge an inch here as Montana still leads this race. He'll be stopping the next 2 laps. We believe this next or the next one, lap 10, is probably the ideal strategy for him. Legend as well in second, Mane in third, Tom in fourth. But I tell you with Montana, I think he is kind of just hoping this gap is working for him. I think, looking at the gap to the leader, he's going to come out in a real horrible gaggle, actually, isn't he? He's got Mata, Khalifa, Jayco, Lakitu, all in this kind of line, and this is a little bit awkward. Tell you what, of that line, there's Khalifa up the inside.
Yeah. Jayco managed to hang on, I think. Khalifa's going to get a run. Yeah, this is probably the cleanest races I've actually seen. There's no damage at all. There's no yellow flags, no safety cars. And it's what we needed with the 11 drivers. But yeah, it's been a good, clean race, and I've really enjoyed it. I think Montana maybe stay on the lap, maybe try and pull a bit of a further gap on them cars behind. But yeah, as you mentioned, he's going to come out right in that gaggle, which he doesn't want to do because you don't want to risk. Obviously, we've seen he's very aggressive in the traffic, but you don't want to be too aggressive, as I believe he is staying out. So I wonder if Tom will come in this lap. I wonder if Tom will pit for the Williams crew. Obviously, they both have to pit. It's on the back of Mane, and maybe since I get a bit helped by the Haas, maybe come in now and maybe fight through again. I don't know.
Well, let's see. No, I'll tell you what, he's coming in.
Mane's in, yeah. So he's going to extend. He's going to try and do an overcut Williams, guys. Mane's come in. He's going to drop the back of field with the gap and how tight the pack is.
Yeah, but varies a lot older tyres as well. Meanwhile, here comes Khalifa with DRS on Jayco. Jayco, is he got anything? Soft versus medium, both with DRS. It's all about who's later on the brakes. The answer to that is neither of them. They're both on the brakes at the same time, but on the exit, Khalifa with those slightly better tyres. Well, when I say slightly, yeah, those are a little bit wide. I don't think he's going to come back. I think probably around equal wear, I suppose, soft to mediums at this stage of the race. So I think kind of starting to go to that crossover point. But like, let's say, look, we've got the gap to the leader, 22, 23 seconds. It's close. He'll come out quite close to Lakitu is the answer if he stops now. But I don't know how much longer he can stretch these tyres for. I mean...
No, he's sliding now. I think tyres haven't go off. He'll come in there.
Nah.
He's coming in. He's an aggressive penalty will help. And nicely on the line. So yeah, it's going. We're going board with Khalifa. He's going to mean tyres, so he has to run them tyres. And Lakita will be ahead. It's going to be touch score with Khalifa, I think. Let's see. As Legend takes the lead. Montana leaves the pit lane now. He's got Khalifa coming down the grid. We've got to wait for Montana to get up to speed. And Montana is going to be ahead of Lakita, is he?
He just is the answer. Was it
timed beautifully. That's a beautiful pit stop there. Beautiful for him. Nice clean air for him to push, have an undercut, and have an even bigger gap to Legend when he pits. Legend won't be coming in for 3 or 4 laps yet. He has to get to like lap 24, 25, 26 to put them softs on.
Yeah, so this is the Auckland race, and I tell you what, Montana's got a finger in the pie right now, and I tell you what, it's coming all good. So far, like, you won't want to be too deep in the pie because it could all of a sudden explode. But, nonetheless, that's an interesting analogy, I'm going to say. Further back down the field, we've got a huge gaggle of cars. Look at this. Khalifa, 3-second time on it. Let's look at penalties, by the way. 15 seconds for Khalifa, so...
15, yeah, he's going to drop to the back of the field. He's going to drop to last... He's going to drop to last place, I think, once it's all... He's having fun, though, which is... I think he's enjoying himself, but he'd be furious at all these penalties he's getting. He's throwing points away, he's just giving points away to the guys behind, even if you just stay ahead, which... it's a shame, because he seems like decent-ish pace, he's just making too many mistakes.
Yeah, indeed, it does look like it. He's on those soft tyres that are a little bit older, of course, 8-lap-old tyres, so...
But Matt, I'm going to run on Jacob, but Jacob's DRS, which may help him defend, as Matt... Jacob's gaining on Khalifa, they're all gaining on each other in the DRS train. As Tom stayed out for another lap. Oh, Tom is... Has Tom used the medium? Tom has used the medium, so Tom's going to go on another set of soft tyres.
Yeah. Here comes Matt up. He's going to go and try and get round the outside then of the Alpine versus McLaren. Well, Renault versus McLaren, I suppose. Meraki is what it used to be back in the day, and now the Renault up the inside, well, the McLaren up the inside of the Alpine. The Alpine's going to fight it with everything he's got, though. Outside, inside, he's going to have to back out there, around the outside there. Is he going to try and get the undercut? No, he's going to back out.
Brave.
Montana's got a penalty. There we go. That's the first penalty for Montana, so he's pushing onwards. I don't think he'll mind too much getting 1 or 2 little penalties here and there. Doesn't want to get too many low because he will be under pressure. But Legend also with that time penalty, so all even Stevens between those two. But like you say, Matt's up, pushing on heavily. It was almost a brave move. Side by side in the S section there, Lo. Yeah. Not easy.
Yeah, good, clean, respectful driving. Both gave each other room, but that's what we want to see. Giving each other room, having a nice, fair, clean battle as Mata will surely get him back on DRS down straight. It's so annoying when you put a nice move like that, you've defended, and suddenly this guy just creams past you on DRS. You get so demoralised, but then you've got to think. He's got through. Now I've got to try and find a way past again. But Jacob's got a problem because Konzo behind. He's got DRS. Jacob hasn't. So Konzo on the soft tyres. Konzo may be fancying getting past here, and. So yeah, Jacob's defensive. He's lost 2 places. That just shows you how powerful the DRS is.
Yeah, up the inside he goes. Nicely done there for Konzo. As he gets past Jacob, who drops down the field. Only one man in this race hasn't got a penalty. And I tell you what, he's driving well as well. That is Tom. No penalty. Nothing wrong. Everything's going quite well in his land, I suppose, right now. Because, talking of penalties, there's Jacob getting a penalty. Yeah. But... the one thing here is driving is you don't get a penalty around here, and it's always only 3 track extensions on the circuit, which is very easy to get a track extension. In comes Legend. That's 24. That's a little bit early. It's 12 laps.
Yeah, he's going to have to manage some tyres. Tom's on starts. Tom will take the lead of the race, and he'll be in, I think, next lap. As we've got, so you mentioned pit stops. Obviously, it's a mandatory 2-stop, and Montana, Legend, Khalifa now's in. Ragdell and Mane have all done a 2-stop. So Tom, Lakitu, Matt, Konzo, J. Cole and Fetbass have all got to do one more stop. If
most certainly.
They'll get disqualified.
Yeah, Rydell and Legend, meanwhile, guess what? They're together again. Legend, though, on 5-lap-old mediums. Rydell on 5-lap-old mediums. Legend on nice brand spanking new tyres. And I surely imagine, if I was Legend, I would just sit back a little bit right now. You might lose maybe a little bit. You don't want to end up hitting, and doing that is what I was about to say. But a little bit of push to pass. Now at the inside, and you know that corner I said you can't really make an overtake, it's brave. Well, guess what? I'll be quiet. He's gone up the inside.
I think Rydell did give him a lot of room.
Yeah, he got a little bit. I'd say it was almost like a bumper and run there in the beginning. Gave him a little push right through. I don't think that would have done any damage, but you could just see the pace that Legend's got. He's already, was that second, I think, already the gap there. 9 temps in basically a sector. He is going to be flying, and he has to fly right now because he's got to get past. But he's really got to wait for these guys to all to stop, which they will. In comes Lakitu, Mata, Konzo. Well, I mean, well, never mind. He doesn't have to wait.
5 cars are in at the same time. Wow, he called that. Busy pit lane.
Well, never mind. He doesn't have to get past any of them because they will pit it. Is the answer to that one. Well, I'd say that's perfect timing. Let's see. Softs for Tom. We've got many on the medium, soft. They're all softs. Right, now Khalifa up to 7. He's on his merry way, and we'll pretend he's in 7th still because he has a penalty. But, I mean, he might get ahead of Fedbass, you know, still. I mean, Fedbass is in the pits. So, let's see. Lakitu could, Khalifa could come out ahead of him, though. But, like I said, the real battle here is now still between Legend. He's got to close up 10 seconds. What, 10 laps? He's got to be a second a lap quicker. Let's have a look at his pace, and we'll have a look between the times. I mean, Montana down 1.3 seconds this lap time. Legend down 8 temps on his quickest lap so far. I mean, Cap is 10 seconds. It needs to be, I'd say, if he wants it, like I said, he needs to take a second a lap out of him. And even that, closing's one thing, passing very much another. But he's doing all he can, though. Fastest lap of this race, potentially.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's going to be, I think. The problem is, he's going to gain, but them soft tyres going to wear out. He might catch, but I believe by the time he does catch, if he does, obviously if he does, I believe them tyres will be past their best. So it's looking like a second place for a Legend. He'll keep pushing, he'll keep hoping, but I think he needs a bit of help from the car ahead. They're both on the same penalties, and Tom's interesting. He's got no penalties, and Tom may be fancying the podium here. Maybe fancying close that gap on Ryder, which he should do. There's Ryder, I have to say, he's doing a good job, the Ryder, managing them tyres. He's gone aggressive on both stops, and he's put himself in a decent position. He'll be in the podium places. I don't think he'll hold on to it, but he's shown good tyre management.
Yeah, further back, Mata and Konzo and Jacob, they're all still battling together. Klaus starting to form up ahead. Like I said, there was a 25% chance of rain. Though I don't know if it's going to come or not. I don't believe so. It's got just a light cloud, apparently. I think it's slowly becoming overcast.
That also means there's 75% chance of no rain. So, yeah, I don't think it'll come.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think you're right there with, 10 laps to go in this race. That's the 8 laps to go. Fetbass time penalty right there as these guys push on and on and on. We're riding aboard, meanwhile, with Konzo, as that is the battle so far. We've got a battle, of course, for 5th, 6th and 7th, all close together. We've got a battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. And I tell you what, it's J. Cole looking at the back of Konzo more than Konzo looking at the back of Mata. But with the help of DRS, I think what's the gap? It's 7 temps, is that give or take? I think. Let's have a look at the thing. It is 5 temps the gap. Is he close enough? Well, he's going to be close enough. That's it. Is he going to have a lunge at turn 1? He's going to have a lunge at turn 1 alongside him. Well, he's ahead of him before turn 1. You know, that's DRS, of course, here in Mexico. Of course, what is it? 2 kilometers up in the sky, of course. Yeah, very, very thin. Of course, around here is up the inside now. Comes the Alpine. The McLaren dropping back down 2 more positions. So is he going to fight around the outside?
Side by side. Oh, just enough space, and Jaco hangs on. Well, that was good. He almost hit the back of the Alpine. Yeah, that was good to see. Nice, good, clean racing. Give it a room, and yeah, it's just been such a fun. Only 11 drivers, but I've fully enjoyed this race. The battle's been excellent.
Yeah, most certainly. Lakitu, meanwhile, getting on the back of Mane there in the battle between the 2 Ferrari-powered cars, which have both got red and white in a different colour as well. Black and slightly bit of blue for the pair of them there. But let's see the Alfa Romeo, of course, which is a lovely livery. I do love the Alfa Romeo. Let's see if he can go and get past. Well, surely you will get Mane pretty easily. Really has become quite overcast, didn't it? I said there was a slight chance of rain. Now that it's overcast, here comes Lakitu, meanwhile. Well, he's going to take no prisoners. Right now, there's one dispatched, and let's see if Khalifa can follow suit. Is he close enough to make a lunge? He's not from this far back. Gap up front, meanwhile, 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's getting interesting. And, he's gaining around the second a lap. So I don't know. It's one to keep an eye out for sure. Yeah, this is Mane obviously on these. Mane, Khalifa's got pie, and as long as Mane stays within any sort of distance of Khalifa, he will jump him on the penalties. So yeah, Khalifa's got to try and jump aside. Well, one thing Khalifa does not want right now is a safety car. As we've got Tom and Rydell. Tom, it's gonna be an easy pass for Tom and these fresh softs on the old mediums. And look, he's pushing Rydell around this final sector. You can't wait for that DRS zone. He's going to get a good exit. Rydell runs wide though. Rydell's got nice momentum through there, but surely with the DRS and slipstream, must have been quite a simple pass for the Williams man on the Alpha. Rydell is going to defend the outside, which leaves the inside open for Tom. Tom gets through, close that DRS, he's through, and yet again Tom will pull away further as he's got that DRS down this secondary straight.
Oh, Rydell with a tank slapper on the exit there. And struggling a little bit is Rydell. Now these tyres are, I believe, how old are these tyres right now as I get it up? 10-up old medium tyres, of course. 15 laps normally is around about the window for a stop. So he's pretty much timed that pretty well. Nikito, 5th. Khalifa, 6th. Both of these guys 15-second time penalties, meanwhile, I have noticed. Talking of penalties, top 2 of 3, 3rd with 0, 9 for Rydell, 15 for Lakito and Khalifa, never mind, 18 for Khalifa, 6 for Mane, J. Cole with 6, Konzo and Mata, Fetbass also with 6 seconds. Fetbass really not having a good afternoon. I don't know what's happened to him. He's dropped quite far back. I think he's stopped actually, has he not? Has he stopped again somewhere?
No, he's still going. He probably. Yeah, the good thing for him though, he's outside top 10, so he will, as long as he continues, you'll get an extra point for fast lap outside top 10. So you'll get the same amount of points as 10th place. So that's one consolation, as Tom does set fast lap of the race, so he'll be getting that extra point. And Williams, I have to say, got a 1-2 last week, and they're going to get a 1st and a 3rd, it looks like, tonight. Williams are going to have a nice, big lead in that Constructors' Championship. It's like the mid-90s seeing Williams just dominate like this.
Oh no, Williams was Ferrari. I would have thought this one.
Yeah.
Of course. It's like the mid-90s all over again. Michael Schumacher, Damon Hill, Villeneuve as well. And, well, I suppose, yeah, it was kind of more, of course, late 90s for like 96, 97, of course. Then it was, of course, the Benetton versus the Williams, of course, with Schumacher in that Benetton, 94, 95, of course, against Damon Hill, a driver, of course, which, well, you could say one thing, probably deserved 2 World Championships, but unfortunately came home with only 1, 96, of course, then got sacked by Williams, which was cruel. I will say it was a cruel thing to do, but of course,
his championship though.
Yes, he got his championship.
Williams in one of racing. They've always had good drivers. They're the second most successful team one of racing behind Mercedes. So yeah, Williams have good pedigree in this league as well. So yeah, it's a good chance for him as Tom. He's in a solid 3rd place. And Legend is catching, but I think his charge is starting to die off a little bit. I think Montana will have this covered.
Yeah. I think he's stagnating every bit now. 5.6 seconds, the gap, of course. But the thing that Montana doesn't need is any issues right now. He does not need to go and get himself a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, I'm just looking back at the back of the field, 8th, 9th and 10th, all battling with J. Cole, Konzo and Mata. These guys are just staying together. They're like Hawks super glue right now. They just won't be separated. I mean, everything they've tried, they're just still together. And here we go, yet again, outside line. Let's see, they're breaking. Oh, I think they're touching now. Are they touching? I think they're just about. Well, they definitely touched there. That's for certain. Yeah. But they're just together. They're having some fun. I'm enjoying it. I'll tell you what, my voice hasn't gone either. It's been surprisingly surprising right now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, tonight you've effectively commentated a full distance Grand Prix with both the races. So yeah, you're doing a stellar job. We've got 4 laps to go. Montana.
Legend's got a penalty.
Yeah,
I tell you what, this is looking better for Tom, isn't it?
This could be if Tom obviously set the fastest lap, if he can gain half a second and avoid getting a penalty himself, then he could have another Williams 1-2. That would be incredible. And Tom is on 2 warnings though, so Tom has got to be really careful. He's got to make sure he keeps it in the lines and close the gap as well. So yeah, this could be another 1-2 for Williams.
Good.
it's very tight. We have to keep an eye on that in these last 4 laps. Look at this midfield battle today. It's just been incredible, I have to say.
Yeah, meanwhile, I don't know what line Mane's taking. That was interesting.
That was
esports lines right there, apparently, lads.
Yeah.
There we go. Just not on the circuit. Meanwhile, these guys all still together. Konzo he just looks back and he's got, oh no,
Oh,
Tom!
Tom's got a pen. You put the curse on him. I think that was the commentator's curse. I think I mentioned it and it's happened.
Oh, Tom!
Oh, sorry,
no,
Tom.
oh well, never mind. He can held his held high. That's the last penalty he's got. He's done 33 laps, and I mean, fair enough. He's been driving his heart out, not putting a foot wrong until just then. Whilst I look at these guys down here, 2 Alfa Romeos together. I think right now, it's gonna just about hold back Nikita, so nearly dropped it.
Will there be team orders? Will there be no team orders? They are fighting, so Nikita can get the run.
DRS low.
Down. Yeah, DRS pass. Nikita's on it. Obviously, he qualified second at that difficult first few laps. He's starting to come back into it, but the penalties may drop him down. I think. I mean, Rydell knows if he stays within Nikita, he will get that place back.
Yeah, I think that's a given there, of course, but switches position ever so slightly. J. Cole now drops behind again of Konzo. These two are just switching positions left, right and centre. These guys catching up to Mane, who is on those 12-lap old medium tyres, and a little bit more of a rate of knots right there. Mane really getting those rear end stepping. It's like the back end of a donkey, this has right now. I mean, I suppose it wasn't very good in real life, but I suppose he's trying to replicate in real life with the tyres. But staying together, J. Cole in 8th, Konzo in 9th, Mata in 10th. Lead 3 drivers all together absolutely still. Gap 4.8 seconds now as we begin the final lap of this race, bar 1. And of course, that is lap 35. So, of course, the last lap, bar 1 there. Thank you very much for me. I thought it was the last lap then. And meanwhile, Lakitu, he's carrying on 4th. Rydell 5th. Love the camera shot through the last corner right there. Khalifa in 6th position. And then we've got these gaggle of bubbles then. And it is the bubble who was about to get popped, I think, by J. Cole. Let's see, J. Cole, he's got the pin. Let's see, Mane, I don't think he can do anything right now. There he goes. No. And up the inside goes one. I tell you what, this could be a slaughter in a second. Right, Del.
Oh, Konzo. Oh, he gained. Konzo, if Konzo gets good exit through here, Mane is a bit compromised by J. Cole. Konzo may. No, he didn't get such a good exit. I believe he may be okay, but Mane will drop behind his guys and penalties anyway. But Mane might as well fight this. He's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you're correct there. It's nothing to lose in this race. There's nothing to gain either. So you might as well just go hell to the leather. Just go for it and see what you can come out of them. And it is so far looking good. In terms of the penalties, Lakitu, they all just want penalties right now. It's like a battle of who wants the most penalties between Khalifa and Lakitu right now.
Oh, Magalhaes got one there as well.
And Mane gets one as well. They're all battling for it. It's like the ultimate battle for who wins this race. It's the battle of penalties.
I wonder if J. Cole get 4th place here. I'm trying to work this out. I wonder if J. Cole will jump up into 4th place.
So he's got 6 seconds to 5th he needs to get. The gap is... looking at it, he's 23 off of Montana. He is 10 off of 4th.
Yeah, you get 4th.
No, he's 8, yeah.
Yeah.
So he
quite
should do.
incredible. You see how far behind 4th place he is, but that just shows you how effective penalties are. Mane's got the final lap. And yeah, this race has flown by. As Montana halfway on the final lap already, and it's been quite a dominant win for him. Yeah, Legend has been quite close with pace-wise, but Montana, that I think them overtakes were on them fresh softs. I think that won the race for him because it made him build up a nice gap, and he's looked comfortable ever since. Only got 1 penalty. He's weaving already.
Yeah, look at the fuel line, already.
That is glowing.
I wouldn't be a little bit concerned. Your fuel is running out, but I think you'll get across the line in the nick of time, even if you did run out. I think it might start splattering through the last corner. But here comes Montana. He took the lead. He very much stayed there. Lights the rears up. Here he comes. Wins in Mexico. There is 2nd victory for the Williams team. Across the line comes Legend as well. It is a double podium, though, for the Williams. Then 1st and 3rd position. I think they'll have that. Tom there with a commanding drive. Lakitu's... I thought he was coming in the pits right there.
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Rydell there in 5th. Khalifa will cross the line. He will get jumped
as well. Get 4th, I think.
I think, yeah, Jacob, yeah, you're correct. Fourth position, Rydell in fifth, Konzo, Mata, Lakitu, Mane, Khalifa, and we are just waiting for Fetbas to cross the line. I tell you what, though, I think I know who my driver of the day is.
Yeah, I've got a few. I'll let you go first. Obviously, we'll wait for the pub to tell me to do, but yeah, I mean, like I say, clean race. TAS shows no damage at all, no collisions. That's one of the cleanest races I've ever seen, and it was a nice, fun race. A lot of close battling. Drivers giving each other respect, giving each other room, but Montana is the guy to beat, and all these other drivers have got to try and somehow beat the guy. The guy just looks unstoppable at the moment.
Yeah, most certainly. But there we go to our podium then. It is, of course, the Williams on the top 7 of the podium. He's throwing out F1 2021 games to all of his supporters down there in the crowd. But it is Williams back on the top here in Mexico.
Down the order for you once again. We've got NSX Montana with the win, Legend in second place, Tom in third, Jay Cord in fourth, Rydal in fifth, Konzo in sixth, Mata in seventh, Lakitu in eighth, Mane in ninth, Khalifa in 10th, and Fetbas in 11th place. So 11 started, 11 finished, and Tom was the biggest gainer off the grid. He gained 6 places, and he also got the fastest lap of the race.
Indeed. Well, I'm gonna give my drive of the day. I mean, I've got to kind of give it to Montana because that was such a commanding drive. My question to him is, with a slightly alternative strategy, were you concerned that Legend was going to get you at the end there? He closed in a lot there, but in the end, you had enough pace on those tyres. How relieving was that?
Yeah,
and to you,
I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to J. Cole because I think. Yeah, you have to reward drivers for consistency. He was in them battles, but along with them battles, he also managed to minimise the penalties. He crossed the line in 7th, but got 4th place. I'm going to ask him, well done, mate, nice drive, good points, and how did you manage to reduce penalties? How did you manage to have less penalties than the guys around you? What was your secret?
Indeed. Well, on that note, of course, we'll go through our sponsors again, whilst we are just here as well to round off the stream, and to all our sponsors as well, as my laptop is still very warm, so it's burning my leg ever so slightly. But to our sponsors, Next Level Racing, of course, they sponsor the league by providing lovely prizes to absolutely every of those beautiful guys. Pure Sim Gear, they sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves to the driver of the most combined poles and fastest laps. Of course, our partners, Vespertine, of course, partner Vespertine, who support our championship prizes. ERT, of course, partner of the ERT Going Gets Tough Award, and they give trophies to the winner of that, of course. And thank you to SimGrid as well, who, of course, run our season for their community as well. All the standings you can find as well. I believe there is links for them around. But I have been Evil for the second time today. Joining me, of course, thank you very much to Jamie, who has been a good companion again. And, of course, we do wish Evan a speedy recovery as well for whatever is happening to him. We do wish him all the best. But on that note, take care, everyone. Until next week in just 7 days' time, we'll see you there. Until then, goodbye.